half the state's reappearance. Speaking of inheritance, I think there's some logic that we can all follow about how it's not really fair to give someone back a house after another person took care of it for the last 5 years. Houses are assets, but they're not like a bar of gold that just sits there gaining value. Houses need constant maintenance. Lawns need to be mowed, gutters need to be cleaned, roofs need retiling, all as a completely natural part of owning a home. If you rent an apartment, your landlord is probably handling most of those things, which is why you pay him probably more than you would be paying a bank for the mortgage on the same property. That means that if you aren't actively maintaining a house or actively paying rent on the house, someone else is laboring for you for free. You might be surprised to know that most countries have thought of this and actually have developed laws around what's called squatters' rights. Squatters' rights vary significantly from country to country and state to state, like any set of rules, but the general concept is that you can't kick someone out of their place of residence without warning, even if they aren't paying for it. Now, the GRC is clearly giving a lot of people in the world warning that they're about to be evicted from their homes, but also, most of these people are presumably paying for those homes. In Spider-Man Far From Home, Aunt May tells us that she appeared suddenly in her old apartment where people were living.
When I flipped back to my apartment, the family that was living there was very confused. The wife thought that I was a mistress.
It doesn't sound like that family was just squatting there. It sounds like they had legitimately moved in. Even if not, many states have statutes that allow a squatter, someone who's been living there for free, to pay to gain ownership of the home if they can prove that they've maintained or improved the property. Since most of these residents had actually been paying the whole time, the law as it's written would ensure that they had the rights to stay there. So yeah, Sam has a point here. The Global Repatriation Council is doing some really weird business in that they're trying to corral people back to their former countries when legally these people should have the right to live in the properties where they're currently living. That being said, this is totally an unprecedented world event. Clearly, you're gonna have to make some drastic choices. Can't just leave 3.5 billion people homeless. And the fact is that now the demand for everything, from food, housing, clothing, medicine, all of it has doubled in every possible way. According to everyone's high school introductory economics course, the increasing demand with the flat line of supply should mean that the prices on everything in the world would be skyrocketing to unbelievable levels. Alternatively, if price controls are in place, there's gonna be shortages of pretty much everything as humanity scoops up what little supply there is. And while all the rest of this is happening, the people who have just reappeared need immediate help. I mean, most are immediately homeless, most are immediately jobless, their families and most importantly their assets are just gone to who knows where. The point is that these returners don't have the ability to pay skyrocketing prices to keep up with demand. So the GRC has this really difficult choice here. If they create some sort of legislation to keep prices from doubling overnight, they might save families from being evicted and starving, but they also might force everyone into an extreme resource shortage faster and worse than it would happen naturally. So tell me, Captain America, which of these options is doing better? Well, what if there was a third option? In a world where we've all been watching our mailboxes and making our memes about the COVID relief checks, what about government relief? Open up that money printer and give people the cash. Most money today is digital and the federal government could just fulfill banks' money orders